Every human being eventually arrives at a moment when the weight of life feels unbearable, a moment when the path forward seems impossible, and the dreams that once felt alive begin to feel distant and unrealistic. In that moment, something dangerous begins to happen inside the mind. Doubt starts whispering, fear grows louder, and slowly, quietly, the thought appears, maybe it's time to stop trying. But what many people do not understand is that this moment is not the end of their journey. In fact, it is the most important moment of their entire life, because the decision made in that moment will determine the direction of everything that follows. The difference between those who succeed and those who disappear is rarely talent, intelligence, or luck. The difference is what they do when quitting feels justified. Some people walk away, others take one more step forward, and that single step often changes everything. People give up because they are weak. Most of the time, they give up because they are exhausted. They have tried many times and seen little rewards. They have faced rejection, fear, criticism, and loneliness. After a while, the mind begins to protect itself from disappointment by lowering expectations. Dreams begin to feel dangerous. Hope begins to feel risky. And slowly, people convince themselves that quitting is the logical choice. But logic is not always the voice of truth. Sometimes it is simply the voice of fear disguised as a reason. Because the history shows something very clear. Many of the greatest achievements in the world were completed by people who almost gave up right before their breakthrough. Fear has destroyed many dreams, but not for the reason people think. Fear itself does not destroy ambition. Fear is a simple feedback. It tells you that something did not work. It tells you that a different approach might be necessary. It forces you to grow, adapt, and become stronger. The real danger is not fear. The real danger is believing that fear defines who you are. The moment you accept that belief, you begin to shrink your own potential. But fear is not a final judgment. It is a temporary event, and temporary events should never be allowed to decide permanent outcomes. Every success story contains a chapter that nobody sees. A period filled with struggle, doubt, and silence. During that time, the world does not celebrate you. No one applauds your effort. Progress feels painfully slow. But this invisible stage is where real transformation happens. Because while the world sees nothing, you are building resilience, discipline, patience, and mental strength. These qualities cannot be developed in comfort. They are built in adversity. Pain is one of the most misunderstood experiences in life. Most people see pain as something purely negative, something that should be avoided whenever possible. But pain often carries a message. It signals growth. It signals that you are stretching beyond your previous limits. It forces you to confront weaknesses and develop strengths. Without pain, transformation rarely occurs. The strongest individuals are not those who avoided pain. They are those who learned how to use it. One of the most powerful realizations in life is the understanding that no one is coming to rescue you. This may sound harsh, but it is actually empowering. Because the moment you stop waiting for external rescue, you begin to take control of your own life. Responsibility becomes power. You begin to understand that your future is not determined by luck, but by your own willingness to continue moving forward. When people imagine success, they often imagine giant leaps forward. But real progress rarely happens that way. Most progress happens through small steps repeated consistently over a long period of time. One more step today, one more effort tomorrow, one more attempt next week, Individually, these actions may seem insignificant, but over time, they compound into something extraordinary. Doubt is not a sign of weakness. It is a natural part of growth. Whenever you pursue something meaningful, your mind will question whether you are capable of achieving it. But doubt does not have to control your decision. Courage is not the absence of doubt. Courage is ability to continue despite it. Motivation is powerful, but it is unreliable. It comes and goes depending on emotions, circumstances, and energy levels. Discipline, however, is consistent. Discipline allows you to act even when motivation disappears. And in the long run, discipline always wins. Imagine meeting the version of yourself 10 years from now. What would that person say to you today? Would they thank you for continuing when things become difficult? Or would they wish you had not given up? Every decision you make today shapes that future version of yourself. Sometimes life knocks you down so hard that starting again feels impossible. But comebacks are one of the most powerful stories in human life. A comeback requires humility, patience, and courage. But it also creates a level of strength that cannot be built any other way. No matter how difficult your current chapter may feel, it is still only a chapter. Stories do not end in a middle. They continue until transformation occurs. And as long as you are still breathing, your story still has page left to be written. Most of the work that builds a strong life happens in private. The world often sees the result but rarely the preparations. Long hours, quiet determination, relentless effort. All of this happens long before success becomes visible. Real success is not about quick wins. It is about long-term persistence, years of learning, years of improvement, years of dedications. Those who understand the long game are the ones who eventually rise above the rest. One of the fastest ways to destroy your motivation is to compare your journey to someone else's. Everyone moves at a different paces. Everyone faces different obstacles. The only comparison that truly matters is the difference between who you were yesterday and who you are today. Fear can feel overwhelming, but many fears are simply imagined outcomes that never actually occurs. The mind exaggerates danger in order to protect itself. But growth requires stepping beyond that fear, because on the other side of fear is opportunity. Most people never discover their true potential because they stop too early. They quit during the stage where things are difficult and progress feels invisible. But potential is often revealed only after sustained effort. Persistence is one of the most underrated forces in the world. Talent may start the race, but persistence finishes it. Those who keep going long enough eventually separate themselves from those who quit. Many struggles do not make sense why they are happening, but years later, people often look back and realize that those struggles shaped their strength. What feels painful today may become the foundation of your future success. So if you are standing at the edge of giving up right now, remember this: your story is not finished, your potential has not disappeared, and the future you dream about is still possible. But it requires one simple decision: do not give up. Keep moving forward, because sometimes the moment you feel like quitting is the exact moment you are closest to your breakthrough.